Ruddy Wolf.
We are 1320 WKAP Allentown.
You're listening to the Doo Wop Shop on the Lehigh Valley's original Sunday Night Hall of Fame. It's AM radio, the way you remember it, with the songs you still love. On Oldies 1320 WKAP Allentown. Oldies 1320 WKAP, Rod Wolf in the Sunday Night Hall of Fame. Your chance to win a fun pack just a couple of minutes away. Here's one from 1959, Little Joe and the Moroccos. It's called Bubblegum. You're going to like this. For all you girls that cracked your gum in high school, drove all the guys nuts. Bubblegum, Little Joe and the Moroccos, 1959 on the Bumblebee record label out of Detroit, Michigan. This is Rod Wolf of the Doo Wop Shop and the Sunday Night Hall of Fame show on Oldies 1320 WKAP. Early Gladys Knight and the Pips now.
Here comes the mailman.
1961, Roger and the Travelers, featuring Roger Koob. That's called Daddy's Little Girl. This is Rod Wolf on Oldies 1320 WKAP. Roger and the Travelers from the New Haven, Connecticut area. As long as we're in New England, Connecticut way, let's stay up there. And I want to play a song I promised you earlier in the Hall of Fame show. Some of the things that we have found from some early groups from the Hartford, Connecticut area, including some very early Gene Pitney records when he was recording with a group called the Embers out of Hartford, Connecticut. Now, there were many groups called the Embers in rock and roll history, of course. Probably every major metropolitan area had at least one group that called themselves the Embers. This particular group of Embers from Hartford featured Larry Lee. Before we get to the Embers backing up a very young Gene Pitney, why don't we listen to Larry Lee and the Embers from 1960. To share you with no one. You're mine exclusively. Sweet thing. This is Rod Wolf of the Sunday Night Hall of Fame. Oldies 1320 WKAP. Let's make it an Olympics twin spin. This is the original version. I'm not kidding. Look it up. The original. Good lovin'. The Olympics.
I wanna feel it.
The Olympics on the Doo Wop Shop of the original Sunday Night Hall of Fame. Yes, that's the original version on the charts 1 year before the Rascals. This is Rod Wolf, the music historian of the Sunday Night Hall of Fame. I saw Eddie Brigatti of the Rascals on a show 2 or 3 years ago, and somebody was interviewing him. I don't even remember what show anymore, but they asked him, "You wrote all the hits for the Rascals, right?" And he said, yeah, we wrote them all. Of course, I was sitting there yelling at the television set, "You didn't write Good Lovin'." The Olympics had that record out first, a year before. But, of course, the Rascals kind of smoothed out the rough edges and made an actual better record out of it, had a number one hit in '66. A little while back, promised you more Johnny Maestro. We played Maestro and the Crest earlier in the Doo Wop Shop. There he is with his second group, the Brooklyn Bridge, still with them today. That's the song Johnny won't sing in his concerts. At least he didn't up to a couple of years ago. He just will not sing that song in his live appearances. Your Husband, My Wife, from 1969 on Oldies 1320 WKAP. Let's play one more from the Master Maestro. Here's Johnny Maestro when he teamed up with the Times in a great version of I'll Be True on the Sunday Night Hall of Fame show. Listen to this one.
Yes, I'll be true. Even though we'll be far.
that. The time, 67. This time it's love. Rod Wolf in the Doo Wop Shop at Oldies 1320 WKAP, the Sunday Night Hall of Fame. 10 o'clock tonight, a Doo Wop Shop edition of music for lovers only and lovers lonely. It'll knock your socks off. This is Rod Wolf, and if you haven't won anything on the radio station in the last 30 days, we'll have to trust you on this, folks. If you haven't won anything in this entire radio station during the last month, you're eligible to win a pair of passes to the Comedy Den, the WKAP WZZO Comedy Den. That's held weekends, Fridays and Saturdays at the Radisson Hotel, 6th and Hamilton Street, the Comedy Den. Great acts show up there every weekend. We'll send you to the Comedy Den, plus the Roxy Theater downtown Northampton. All you have to do is be caller number 13 at 437-WKAP, 437-WKAP, the only number to call. If you'd like the Comedy Den and the Roxy Theater passes from the Sunday Night Hall of Fame at Oldies 1320 WKAP. Dial right now, okay? As we listen to the Lydell.
There goes the boy.
Little Anthony and the Imperials. Revival time here. Feel good. Oldies 1320 WKAP, the Sunday Night Hall of Fame, the Doo Wop Shop. Lovers Go coming your way at 10 o'clock. You know, a lot of groups have taken a crack at making a doo-wop record over the years, but maybe no group stranger than the Ripcords.
Here I stand, all alone in my lonely world, all alone waiting for the girl. Yeah, here I stand.
Wop, I love you so, doo wop, 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 wop. This is Oldies 1320 WKAP, the Sunday Night Hall of Fame. Music for lovers only and lovers lonely is coming up at 10 o'clock. The Submarine Races, a special doo-wop edition on the original Hall of Fame. The Lehigh Valley's longest running oldies program. Glad to have you on board. It's where the real oldies fans gather every week in the Lehigh Valley on AM radio. Oldies 1320 WKAP. Johnny and the Hurricanes. Time now for music for lovers only and lovers lonely as the Doo Wop Shop continues on the original Sunday Night Hall of Fame and Oldies 1320 WKAP.
What's your name? I have seen you before.
WKAP. Confidential as a church at twilight. Confidential. Sentimental. Oh, listen to the falling rain. Pitter, patter, pitter, patter. Oh, listen.
This is music for lovers only and lovers lonely on the Doo Wop Shop and the Sunday Night Hall of Fame from Oldies 1320 WKAP.
My own true love.
listening to Music for Lovers Only and Lovers Lonely. Gone with the Wind. We like to sing it that way, don't we? Music for Lovers Only and Lovers Lonely. The Doo Wop Shop tonight. Nothing but the group sound. Set number 1 of Lovers Gold. Don Juan. What's your name? Earl Lewis and the Channels. The Closer You Are from 1956. We heard the Shells, Baby Oh Baby. The Charmiers. I've Waited So Long. Obscure girl group, the Charmiers. Not the Charmans, the Charmiers. Don't squeeze the Charmiers. Fleetwood sang their version of Confidential. Cascades, Rhythm of the Rain. The Earls with It's You. Jimmy Beaumont, the Skyliners. How Much? Shirelles, dedicated to the one I love. Song from 1960, Did You Make Up Your Mind, was by Tony and the Twilighters. Tony would resurface again when he used his birth certificate name, Anthony. Real name, Anthony Moresco. He was the lead singer of Tony and the Twilighters, and also Anthony and the Sophomores, Lehigh Valley favorite group with Gee But I'd Give the World and Play Those Oldies, Mr. DJ. That's some early Anthony, though. Tony and the Twilighters, 1960, Did You Make Up Your Mind? And wrapping up set number 1, the Duprees, My Own True Love, Taurus theme, Gone with the Wind. Music for Lovers Only and Lovers Lonely. Now a reminder, next week, it's Once and Done Week in the Hall of Fame. One-hit wonders. Artists that only had one hit song in the Hot 100. We'll feature them next week beginning at 6 o'clock on another special edition of the Lehigh Valley's longest-running oldies program, the Sunday Night Hall of Fame, with yours truly, Rod Wolf on Oldies 1320 WKAP. Stick around. We'll take you back to the roots of rock, back to 1955, when Music for Lovers Only continues in a moment.
Of my mind, out of sight, but not out of my mind.
You're listening to the Doo Wop Shop and Music for Lovers Only and Lovers Lonely on the Sunday Night Hall of Fame. From Oldies 1320 WKAP.
Will you take part in my life, my love? That is my dream. Life is but a dream. It's what you make.
My dream
Music for lovers only and lovers lonely on the Sunday Night Hall of Fame. And Oldies 1320 WKAP.
Oh, good night, my love, until tomorrow then. Good night, my love, until tomorrow when I hold you in my arms. Whoa, good night, whoa,
pleasant dreams and sleep tight, my love. May tomorrow be sunny and bright and bring you closer to me. Before you go, there's just one thing I'd like to know. Is your love still warm for me, or has it grown cold?
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must say, oh, good night, sweetheart. Good night.
Good night, sweetheart, till we meet tomorrow. Good night.
That's going to do it for this Doo Wop Shop edition of the Lehigh Valley's longest-running oldies program, the original Sunday Night Hall of Fame from Oldies 1320 WKAP, the Valley's original solid gold radio station. Tonight, the Doo Wop Shop, set number 2, featured The Door Is Still Open, 1955, by the Cardinals, featuring Ernie Warren. That song was written by the late Chuck Willis. The Door Is Still Open by the Cardinals. You might remember the Hilltoppers version from 55. Actually, the cover version by Jimmy Sacken. The Hilltoppers sold more records than the original, the Cardinals and the Doo Wop Shop. from 56, Rudy West and the Five Keys, Out of Sight, Out of Mind. Of course, Little Anthony brought that one back, too, about 10 years later. Life is But a Dream, a cappella music from the El Cieros. The Platters sang Only You. Kathy Young and the Innocents, A Thousand Stars. Frankie Valli, The Four Seasons, with Soon I'll Be Home Again. Ronnie and the Highlights sang I Wish We Were Married. And the Impressions, some early Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions with A Long Time Ago. And wrapping it up tonight, our Good Night medley, this week featuring the Flamingos. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. Now, don't forget, next week, another special edition of the Sunday Night Hall of Fame show. We're going to call it One Hit Wonders, artists that only had one hit song of the Hot 100. The One Hit Wonders live again next week, beginning at 6 o'clock on the Sunday Night Hall of Fame and Oldies 1320 WKAP. And this is Rod Wolf once again reminding you that if you do like the Doo Wop Shop, if you like the Street Corner Symphonies, the music of the 50s, the early 60s, and you want to hear more of it, you got to let us know. You can write to us here at the Sunday Night Hall of Fame in care of WKAP Radio. Our address is Post Office Box 9595, Allentown, PA 18105. Drop us a line. Let us know if you like the history of rock and roll music. If you like the first generation stuff like the doo-wops, the 50s and early 60s, we'll play more of them if you want to hear them, but you got to let us know. The Sunday Night Hall of Fame. Our address, Post Office Box 9595, Allentown, PA 18105. Love to hear from you. Till next Sunday night at 6, this is Rod Wolf reminding you it's okay to look back to the past, but don't try to live in it. Have a good week. Good night, everybody.